Cats may hate water, but give them a fish and they're somehow like seafood super fans. So let's crochet up one that's super quick, fun, and totally feline approved. No can opener required. Hi there, I am Lindsay with Off the Beaten Hook, and in this video tutorial we are crocheting up this tiny, adorable little crochet fish. This pattern is part of a series of 4 different cat toys that I designed. They can of course be used for things other than cat toys, but it includes a fish, a mouse, a jellyfish, and an octopus. And all of them are free patterns on my blog, and I will include the links to all of them in the description box below in case you want to make all of them. I am, however, still covering this pattern row by row in this video, so you will be able to complete the entire pattern just by watching this video, and you won't have to refer to the written pattern. And while you're here, I would love it if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified of all the new videos I put out, like free pattern tutorials or stitch tutorials, and it means so much to me that you are here watching, so I just want to thank you. I'm using a 3mm hook as well as DK weight 100% cotton yarn. I'm using this amigurumi yarn that is self color changing, so it's super fun because you're not quite sure what the color will end up being. And I'm using the color, this is the rainbow color. This one's a different one, but they have a few different colors, and they're really pretty and fun to do for these vibrant little cat toys. The full written pattern is also free on my blog if you want it all in one place, and I will include the link to that in the description box. So we are going to begin by making a magic circle. And for round 1, we are going to single crochet 6 into this magic circle. So 6 single crochet. Go ahead and close the circle. Okay, so after round 1, you will have 6 single crochet. For round 2, we're going to increase the circle a little bit. We're going to place 1 single crochet in this next stitch, and then we're going to make an increase in the next stitch. And we'll do that combination 3 times around. So without joining, we're just going to continue straight away into that next stitch with 1 single crochet. And then in the next stitch, we'll do an increase. So 2 single crochets into that same stitch. We'll do that again. So we'll make a single crochet in this next one and an increase in this next one. One more time. We'll do a single crochet. I'm going to flip it with the right side out because it's starting to curve a little bit. And then an increase in this next stitch. Okay. Close that magic circle a little tighter. All right, so now you've got the kind of little tip. You're starting to see it curl. You want to work it with the right side facing you, so make sure you're curling it in that way. But you have the wrong side on the inside. All right, so for round 3, we're going to continue to increase. We're going to make 1 single crochet in each of the next 2, and then we'll make our increase in the 3rd stitch, and we'll do that combination 3 times around. So 1 single crochet in this next stitch. So at the end of round 3, you're going to have 12 stitches around. I'm going to go ahead and take that magic circle yarn tail and tuck it inside, get it out of the way. So for round 4, it's going to be similar. We're going to increase again. This time we're going to make 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then an increase. And we will do that 3 times around. So 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. Okay, we'll do that again. So 3 single crochet and then an increase. All right, so there at the end of round 4, we're going to have 15 single crochet around. For round 5, we are simply going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So there'll be 15 single crochet around. All right. So here he's building up a little bit. So again, 15 stitches around after round 5. For round 6, we're going to increase again. This time we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, and then an increase in the next stitch. And we'll do that 3 times around. So 4 single crochet. And then an increase. And again, 4 single crochet. So after round 6, you'll have 18 single crochet around. Okay, we're going to do 1 more increase row. So for round 7, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches and then an increase. And we'll do that combination 3 times around. So single crochet 5. And then an increase. Again, single crochet 5. All right, so there we are. After round 7, you'll have 21 stitches around, and that is as wide as it's going to get. So for the next 3 rounds, we're simply going to place 1 single crochet in each of these 21 stitches. So 21 around, 21 around, and 21 around again. So just straight around again, we're not joining at all. All right, so after round 10, we are still working with 21 stitches around. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and place our stitch marker, and we are going to put on the eyes and the gills. We're just going to use black DK weight yarn for this. You can certainly use embroidery thread if that is what you would like to do. I'm just using a little strip of black DK weight cotton yarn. I'm going to thread that onto my tapestry needle. We're going to put our little eyes in. It doesn't matter where you put them. They're just going to go on either side as even as you can do it. And the eyes are going to go like little X's on top of round 5. So if you count backwards from the tip of the nose here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the round we're going to just choose a stitch. And from inside to outside, just pop your tapestry needle through. I'm popping it through between rounds 5 and 6. And pull that through, leaving a little tail that you can tie off on the inside. And then coming down a stitch and over, so basically diagonal, down over top of round 5, you're going to bring your needle back to the inside and pull that through. And then we're going to just make an X. So we're going to go back up a stitch between rounds 5 and 6 and cross it over to that top stitch on the opposite corner there and pull that down. Okay, so you got your little X. Of course, you can use safety eyes if you want. If you're using this for a cat or an animal or whatnot, maybe just do the embroidery. And you can embroider your eye however you'd like. And then right behind the eye, we'll go ahead and straight away with this same thread, we'll do the gill. So there's going to be kind of a small gill and then a larger gill. So in between rounds 7 and 8, so in between these two right here, we're going to put in our first gill. So bringing your yarn from back to front, and then we're just going to skip over 2 stitches, 1, 2, and bring our thread back to the inside, just between those same rounds. Okay, there's the smaller one. And then 1 more gill right behind it. We're just going to go up by 1 stitch, back through from back to front. And just making that one stitch longer than the smaller gill underneath. Okay, so I'm just going to carry this thread across, and I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. I'm happy with that. Got my little eyes and my gills complete. I'm just going to take that off of my needle, and I'm just going to tie this off on the inside with the yarn tail that I began with. All right, I'm just going to put that yarn tail inside as part of my stuffing. I'm going to go ahead and stuff the fish a little bit at this point as well. And for my stuffing, I'm just going to use some yarn tails that I have from other projects. I keep all my little yarn tails to stuff my amigurumi with. It's a great way to use those in a sustainable way rather than throwing them away. All right, so we're going to take our stitch marker out and pick up where we left off. And now we're on round 11. Here we're going to start to decrease. So we're going to bring the fish, we're going to start to taper it towards the tail. And what we're going to do is we're going to place one single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then we'll decrease over the next 2. And then we'll do that 3 times around in total. So single crochet 5. And I'm going to decrease over the next 2. I like to do the invisible decrease where you're picking up just the front loop of the next 2 stitches and pull up and complete your stitch. You could do your decrease however you'd like. So we're going to do that again with 5 single crochet and then a decrease. All right, so after round 11, you're going to be back down to 18 stitches. I'm going to stuff a little bit more at this point as we're bringing him back down, tapered towards the tail. Just kind of shape it and stuff it as you go along. Okay, I'm going to pick up my hook again here. So we are now on round 12. We're going to continue to decrease. For this round, we're going to be making 1 single crochet in each of the next 4, and then we'll do a decrease over the next 2 stitches, and we'll do that same combination 3 times around. So single crochet 4, and then decrease over these next 2 stitches. Single crochet 4, all right, so then after round 12, you're going to have 15 stitches around. I'm going to stuff a little bit more. All right, we are now on round 13. We're going to do another decrease round. For this one, we are going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and then we'll decrease over the next 2. And we'll do that combination 3 times around. So single crochet 3, and then a decrease over these next 2. Again, single crochet 3. I'm going to stuff one final time, just with a little bit more, and after this round you probably won't have a lot of room to stuff again, so make your decision now. You don't want that stuffing to poke out or kind of get in the way of you working your last few rounds, however. So, and of course, again, if you're making this for your little kitty cat, you may want to put some catnip in here just for the fun of it. All right, we're going to begin round 14. So after round 13 here, you're going to have 12 stitches. We're going to do one more decrease round before we do our little flared tail. So for this round, we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then we'll decrease over the next 2. And we'll do that combination 3 times around. So 2 single crochet, and then a decrease. 2 single crochet, and then a decrease. So here we have our little shape of our fish. Now what we're going to do for the next 2 rounds, for 15 and 16, our final 2 rounds, is we're going to create this little flared tail, and then we'll use the yarn tail to seam it closed. All right, so for round 15, we're simply going to increase in each stitch around. So you're going to have 9 stitches at this point, and you're going to place 2 single crochet in each of those 9 stitches around. So at the end of round 15, you're going to have 18 stitches around. You can see the little tail starting to flare out a little bit. We're going to do that same thing for the final round for this little fish. We're going to increase around again. So 2 single crochet in each of these 18 stitches around. Okay, I've just completed round 16. So now what you're going to do is you're going to snip your yarn tail. I'm probably leaving more than I need to. I probably have about 10, 12 inches here. And you are going to go ahead and fasten off by making a slip stitch into this next stitch, which was the first stitch of the round, and pull that through. So pull that tight, and that will fasten off your round. Okay, so what we're going to do with this yarn tail is we're going to find the center of our little fishy's face, and we are going to squish his tail this way. And we are going to just take our yarn tail and we're just going to make a few stitches back and forth through this round and close up the tail. So when find your tapestry needle, thread the end onto it. And take your yarn, you're up here at this, the end of your row, and we want to bring it down here. So what I do is rather than snipping and starting over, I'm just going to kind of bring my yarn through a couple stitches on the inside of the tail and just thread it through the back side of these rounds just to bring it down to where we want to close up the tail. We're going to be closing up the tail between rounds 14 and 15. So you have these last 2 rounds, and we're going to pass our needle back and forth in between here, which is in between rounds 14 and 15. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to pop my needle out between round 14 and 15 here. Bring that to the outside. All right, so again, we're going to find our center here, and we're going to pinch the tail closed. And I am simply going to take my yarn and I'm going to pass it in between these next 2 stitches here and bring it out on the other side and pull. Okay. Then we're going to move it over 1 stitch and do the same thing. It's going to pop out on the opposite side. And I'm just going to keep passing it back and forth until I reach the other side of the tail. It's about 3 or 4 stitches here. And then I'm just going to go back the opposite way just to make sure it's nice and secure. I'm just going to bring it back the opposite way to where I began. And there you have it. So to deal with this end, all you really need to do is it's nice and secure at this point. I just bring it to the inside. So I just go into a stitch right next to where I just ended, and I bring it out a side wall and just pull it through. I'm going to do that one more time just to be sure. So I'm just go back in a stitch right next to it and bring it out the opposite side of the fish and pull it through again. Just to make sure that's nice and secure. Take off your needle, and then you're just going to snip that yarn tail clean with the surface. And there you have your little fish. You can kind of flare out the tail however you would like. And there you have your cute little fish.